So this is a little bit of a different video. I saw a documentary on HBO Max that a friend of mine wanted to show me called Music Box, Woodstock 99, Peace, Love, and Rage. I guess he saw the documentary and thought that I would like it because it took us back to the late 90s, the era where I was, a young teenager getting into music. And I did watch the documentary with him on HBO Max here at my house. And I thought, I should just do a little review on this because I feel like some people are going to skip over this or not even know about it because I didn't even know about it. So, Music Box is a new documentary series created by Bill Simmons, the same guy from the Bill Simmons podcast, the sports guy. And this documentary, directed by Garrett Price, covers the story of Woodstock 99, a show that, when Woodstock 69 happened, I wasn't born. When 94 happened, I was too young, but I remember Woodstock 99. I didn't go to the event, but I remember seeing it on pay-per-view because Woodstock 99 was available for pay-per-view, and that whole weekend was blocked off with just Woodstock concerts. And I watched some of it because I couldn't watch everything. It was literally all day. I saw some of the concerts. I had one of those black D-Scrambler boxes when I was younger that got you free cable, like the premium channels and whatnot, HBO and all that. So I saw all that stuff for free. Pirating cable, and that's my parents' box, not mine, all right? I don't do that no more. But anyways, Woodstock 99 was a concert that took place in New York that had about 500,000 people. And at Woodstock 99, they had a number of different performers, a number of different musical acts of different genres put together to bring fans of Woodstock, well, no, not fans of Woodstock, fans of music, contemporary music fans of that era together. Now, the original Woodstock back in 69 was supposed to be a festival of peace with several different musicians. This was supposed to follow suit, but the documentary reveals that it didn't really become that. Woodstock 99 was anything but peace. Maybe for the first couple of hours, but things really, really fell apart. And I remember MTV's coverage of this. I remember hearing about how there was fires there. They were breaking stuff. There were women getting groped. I remember hearing about all of that, but this documentary really puts things into perspective. And when you're watching this documentary, dude, you end up getting horrified because, some have called it the day the 90s died because it was near the end of the 90s because, dude, like the way that they show footage and they actually show what happened, it's just like the worst of humanity. People were hospitalized. Women were raped, sexually abused. People went nuts and started destroying things, and they set things on fire during the Red Hot Chili Peppers performance. And I remember hearing about this, but actually seeing this documentary, first of all, going back to 99 was kind of emotional for me because my life was very different back then. My parents were still alive. I was in high school, a young guy. I was a freshman and was getting into music. So all of these acts on here, from Alanis Morissette to DMX to Limp Bizkit, I remember them. I remember them being staples of the 90s. Red Hot Chili Peppers. They interview some people here too, like Korn, Moby's on this documentary, and they all give their thoughts on the event, and they discuss, there's some things here that I find a little bit, like some are going to say it's woke, because there are some things here that kind of complain about how there's only 3 women on the docket and, things like that. Now, with that being said, complaining about 3 female performers, I don't think is that big of a deal because they just got bands together they thought were popular. You could see it as that, but I didn't think so. However, that does not mean I'm okay with women getting groped and touched without their permission. It happened a lot here, and yet there's even a moment where one of the promoters says, well, it was their fault. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even making this up, dude. One of the promoters in the documentary blamed the women for getting groped. Like, dude, and I get it. Like, okay, maybe they knew what they were getting into, but obviously they did not know because we're talking about a festival with a lot of people, but obviously people who went thought they were going to be safe and secure there. There wasn't enough security. The security guards were all having sex there. I'm not even making this up, dude. Oh my God, like, they ran out of water. Well, no, first the water was being charged. They were charging $4 for a bottle, which is the same thing that beer costs. So if you have to pick between buying a beer or buying a water, most young people are going to buy a beer, right? Makes sense. Well, the problem is that beer dehydrates you, and you got to have water in your system at some point. There was a lot of people going to the hospital for dehydration and heat stroke and shit like that. There were people. There was at one point like, and I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but at one point like they run out of water to bathe in, so people are just running around in like muddy crap water with shit in it, like literally shit water. They thought it was mud, but it was actually like, feces. Just totally disgusting. Like, you watch this and you're wondering like how we as a species could have actually had something like that happen. It was complete madness, yo. Like complete and utter madness at this, event. And they talk about like organizing the event, the purpose of it, the era of 1999, discussing how we were all, well, not all of us, but a lot of people, I certainly was not, were concerned about Y2K. I wasn't. They talk about how the era, it was the era of rap rock, these really aggressive bands like Korn, Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock, and they showed them all there, and their thoughts. The promoters blamed Fred Durst. He actually called him an idiot for the break stuff segment where people were breaking actual like property there. The whole thing was a big clusterfuck. The whole thing was a huge clusterfuck, and really the documentary analyzes who's to blame, what really happened. There were stories here I had never known. Like, I never knew women actually got like touched and groped. I mean, I knew they were getting groped, but I didn't know they were straight up actually raped. And like, it really went to a new level that I totally was not expecting. It's well edited. The footage is just amazing. And then going back to 99 and hearing these bands and this music and the whole time period, was crazy. And it's so ironic, and coincidentally enough, Alanis Morissette performed that song there and was, there. But it's so ironic that Woodstock 99 was supposed to be the idealistic concert of, counterculture, counter-war, all about peace and love. And instead it became this, like, place with looters and rioters and sexual assault and people destroying things. And it just became, like, the worst of humanity. And it's too bad because the bands on this thing was a who's who. Metallica, just so many legendary bands performed here. And they also discussed how the audience for Woodstock 99 didn't really know anything about Woodstock at all. There were certain, I guess, inside references to the 69 Woodstock that the fans didn't even understand because they were younger and they were more into the current contemporary music. I mean, it reminds me of a couple years ago when Paul McCartney appeared on a Kanye song. And people said, hey, Kanye's giving a chance to this guy, even though Paul McCartney's one of the Beatles who has been around for like 60 years or whatever. Like, people are just sometimes don't know, and you can get mad at them if you want to, and I certainly have in the past. But I mean, damn, like, I think knowing who Paul McCartney is a little bit more important than knowing little things about Woodstock 69. But it just shows that sometimes young people only focus on what they want to focus on, don't really know history. But this show was history, and they actually were able to find people who went to Woodstock. This blew my mind. They found people who went to this event to interview, and they told their stories. So, really great documentary. I recommend you check it out on HBO Max. Woodstock 99. It's called Music Box. Peace, Love, and Rage. Music Box, Woodstock 99. It's on there right now. Do you have any memories of Woodstock 99? Do you remember Woodstock 99? Do you remember the event? Do you remember it back then? Have you heard about it? Have you seen the documentary? Let me know in the comments. Talk to you soon.